What's going on, you guys? This is Hyperion-Blue-GT champion. So looks like it's time for another custom race on Gran Turismo Sport. So looks like let's get started. For today is the Abarth 500 2009 for having this wonderful modern hatchback vehicle board. So it was definitely like the Fiat 500. So it may be different for this different kind of Italian brand board. So it is a Abarth for this brand board, but well, it looks like it's very catching up with its name board. So well, maybe this is a pretty cool modern hatchback vehicle board. So the vehicle class is an N100 vehicle, so that might be very good to be prepared for having this long weighted segment board. So maybe let's just go and get ready to go to get started for having an all-out Italian race event board. So probably this is maybe very good board, because that might be quite possibly to be started out boards. So maybe let's just gonna have to go and race at monster circuit with no chicane boards. So maybe I should probably have to go and start putting on an afternoon condition time board. So that might be very good boards. So looks like the Abarth 500 was definitely also appear in Gran Turismo 6, but looks like finally come back in GT Sport, because this is maybe quite very good for this color board. So definitely the mirror views is definitely quite coded color board, and it also has that default standard variant libraries on it. So that might be quite very good board. So this is going to be quite very relatively quite very impressive board. Well, I know I'm just trying hard to come up to say with a current brand board, so it is very hard to say it for. So looks like this is going to be very good for having a standard lap race, and this will be quite very good board. So I decided I'm about to start out with 2 laps boards, so this is going to be quite good board. But I kind of think that Abarth is definitely an Italian car brand name board, but most other people are trying hard up to come up with that name board, but it also has to spell correctly to say it. But even so, this vehicle can also drive very good to race for the other N100 cars for it. So definitely the drivetrain is FF car. That might be very good for it. So definitely the horsepower starts out at 133. So maybe this might be very good for giving a better start for having a good performance fast run board. And it also has that 5-speed transmission. So that might be very good to go and kick up the throttle board. So looks like let's go then, and let's get ready to start this standard race to go and make it slow and fast. Well, definitely I'm just pulling the TCS by giving a little back start for it. So looks like taking 2 laps is going to be giving a little start for kicks. This small compact car is definitely quite getting a good choice for you to race on this Italian track board. Well, probably this good interior view was definitely quite giving a good look of this taste board. So the model design is definitely based from the Fiat 500 modern vehicle, but this is definitely quite giving a different improvement brand for it, because it is definitely quite very good for most other young people who can really want to drive this 2-seated vehicle. Now this might be very good, so this will be able to go and keep in a nice slow turn. Well, it is definitely similarity type of the compact vehicle board, but N100 car is definitely more like the Honda S660, but different performance style of this specific model was ever yet to be shown for. Well, definitely the first generation Fiat 500 is definitely quite giving a slow speed performance for it, but probably the Abarth 500, it drives pretty monolithic fast like the Alfa Romeo Mito. Yeah, definitely I almost forgot about the getting off the track board. but it is definitely quite very cool to drive very fast sports. It's very light and durable to be ever to be used for. That's better. So time to take a little bit more speed pass on to the Gran DS speed. Well, I kind of think I should probably stick onto this nice interior view because it is very cool and realistic to see for it. Well, it is definitely quite very fast for an FF car, but maybe most of you Gran Turismo players, for the newer ones who really wants to try it out and make it a challenge for the FF challenge, that might be a quite good recommended use for the newer players to be able to participate to use it for it. That might be able to strong up against any N200 cars for it. Now, looks like it's going to be good to take on to the final lap of this race, and looks like I'm getting closer in. Now I'm passing on to the Renault Clio RS, the 2015 model, because this is definitely quite being the shown differences for it. Now it looks like I'm coming in to take a little right turn. It's a good thing the no chicane part is definitely giving the best luck for beginners for it. And here comes the RCC Fiat. So definitely might be a good brake balance level to be used on the front by taking a little negative use for it. So I should probably have to stick on to one, so this might be giving the good fast performance to be ever used for it. But maybe I might be able to use it again to use for the Hyperion design for my Soul Drummer OC. Well, I guess he really likes to have this design to be custom made. But don't worry, this will be able to be used on the library editor in case this is going to be so very cute looking for it. Okay, almost there. Better watch out for that sand trap because this is going to be quite easier to be taking the hard turn. But definitely the gauges is definitely on it. Well, looks like there's only have one, but well, we also have the use set of customizable gauge back in Gran Turismo 6. Only has to be number of limits up to 3. That might be quite very possible to be able to be used for. But other cars can also be putting in 1 or 2 able to be set in use. But also not to be using on race cars because it already has one, because it's good for the racing equipment on it. So, looks like this is going to be good for taking one last stretch to the checkered flag, and looks like the Abarth 500 is definitely on the first. Well, it is still a Fiat car anyway, but it still has a different brand on it because it may be become very more cool Italian style. Alright, so it looks like a good clean race bonus to be doubling up for more. So this will be able to be quite adding up, and this is going to be good to be used. So, looks like Monza is done. So I might be able to go and race to the next track. So probably let's go on over to Autodrome Lago Maggiore Grand Prix. So might be very good to extend a lot of good run sport, because this race can also last for 2 laps sport, because might be quite very good for taking Italian cars to move into the next race. But this is going to get pretty impressive to be quite giving the adjustment for giving a little fast improvement, and this will give a much better choice to use the sports hard tire sport. That might be giving much impressive to do it. So looks like the Cilio 2015 and 2016 are in the race. So I kind of think the Abarth 500 is definitely at the 19th place, so this might be the same position when I start out here on the first race. So, looks like the second race is going to be quite getting better to be shown. Now let's do this and let's give it an import. Well, definitely this is modern style and also classic for it. So the speed monitor is definitely quite ever yet to be shown for it. So it also has to be keeping track of the line for any other specific vehicles for it. So let's just go in and pass all the M100 cars to be taking one overtake or more. Whoa, that was so close on the Suzuki Switchport, I almost crashed. That's just giving me a little bit of major sharp close for it. So, coming on in and taking on that steep turn, always gonna have to be caution for it. Dive turn. First, to make a little overtake pass on the Alfa Romeo Mito. Just gonna have to stay on the inside and then make yourself on the go. Okay, so the 2016 is Cilio RS is definitely quite yet to be shown. Well, I'm just gonna have to keep a check on it. So that was 2015. And I think the 2016 Cilio RS is now currently in different positions on it, so I might be able to go downhill and then approaching on the steep turn. Hillside turn is definitely giving the better fast use on the FF car. There. Okay, so I think the red one is the 2016 model, and well, maybe I should always mentioning the Renault Sport vehicles for it, because that could be quite getting differences between the bottom headlights. Now, on over to the Toyota 86 and the BRC. Very good. Taking a little bit of slide downhill turn, then move on in over to the next lap. This may be quite very easier to be taking on the final lap board, but it always drives stronger against the Fiat RTC with a standard amount of performance, so this might be giving a little bit of ECU for it. But only in sport mode can also to race against some stronger opponents when using the Fiat Abarth 500. Well, this is going to be giving a little bit of differences between Fiat and Abarth. The Abarth is definitely quite going in for it. Well, it always saying Abarth for it, but I kind of think it pronounces Abarth. Well, I kind of think that was a pronouncing name for it, because that was the Abarth 500. Well, looks like this is definitely quite very perfect correctly that I was digging into my head for it. Well, anyway. Looks like the Abarth 500 is now first place in the lead. This might be getting a little bit fast amount of use for it. Well, luckily, the turbo gauges is definitely quite ever yet to be shown for us. So this might be getting a little bit much better, easier to use this on the hillside corner here for on the Italian fictional track. It'll be able to be done very soon, folks, because the Abarth is definitely going to be first place to be ever yet to be standard fast used. There, just giving a little bit few more turns on the apex, and then it will be good to take the final stretch downhill to the finish line. All right, that was another good win for the Abarth 500, because this is going to be quite very excited for taking a good Italian racing moment to say. Well, looks like this is going to be quite good to be true, and this will be able to be keeping up the throttle to be ever hold for this FF car. That might be quite very efficient to be adding up for a clean race bonus. So, looks like the earnings is definitely quite stacking up for more. This might be good for the Abarth 500, because this will be quite getting much better, strong improvement to be ever yet to be achieved to build. That might be giving the best advantage for. So maybe taking on for the next round of the race. So I should probably decide to go and have a little race here at the Mount Panorama Motor Racing Circuit. So this will be able to be putting in here. So this will be giving a little standard race for only last 2 laps for it, because, well, I'm really gonna need to have more distance, so I'll be able to be giving a little extra amount, because, well, still working on it to do some more credits means, well, every time in each segment to do some small amount of price earnings. But don't worry, I'm still trying to be able to climb up to be reached up to the 20 million amount to get a high expensive vehicle to participate for the Gran Turismo League, because this is going to take forever to be at least. So, looks like race number 3 at Mount Panorama, and here we go, and looks like the Abarth is now putting in red color. Looks like I'm still putting on the white color, and that makes it very good and efficient. Okay, so past multiple street cars to be first, and then the Mazda. Well, definitely the Alpine, Toyota 2000 GT, and the Honda Beat is still trying to be able to be stucking in on the 3-lane blocking point. So looks like it'll be able to wait until it passes. Well, I'm still working on the miles to get that total distance achievement, because that might be very important to gain some good mileage points, because that might be able to be coming in anytime soon. Okay, keep that throttle uphold on the upper hill. So it is very easy to drive around with few other standard N100 cars to be ever yet to be achieved for it. Well, N200 cars can also be okay, and well, probably the N300 cars are definitely giving a little bit of a difficult race for having a little temptation for having the segment for it. So this will be able to be prepared myself to race with the other N300 cars. That might be giving a little intense for the Abarth 500 to do whenever it takes to use the FF car to take much horsepower to the best whenever it can. But it also giving a little bit of more steep braking point to be as cautious as possible. Now, looks like time to go and take the overtake trap on the Mazda RX-7 FC. This will be good. So probably the bit speed is differently giving a little bit of total amount of max speed to be keeping up the distance. So it will be able to kick it in and go whenever it can. Now, looks like time to do is to overtake the two Renault Sport Stelios. Then this will be quite very efficient to be able to beat the Fiat RCC as the main rival. Okay, final lap, here we go, and this will give a much better amount of performance to speed and give a little squeeze in. Well, can't say that small Italian compact cars can also to go pretty easier to be lightened and very improvable. Nothing better is to be worked out without the Fiat 500F, but every time that the Fiat 500 is definitely a standard older model since the 1960s for it, and probably decades later until 2009. The Abarth 500 is definitely giving a good fast amount of use, just like the standard Fiat 500 with the same different amount of performance, but this one is giving a little sporty improved performance to drive very fast for it, and it also to be used as a one-make event. That will be much better to be a prop to have this Abarth to go faster and lighten up to be stronger. So this will be giving a much more better option to do, keeping the handling to be very cautious as needed in for. Okay, so go for another braking point. So after this, I should probably have to go and race at the Red Bull Ring. So this is going to be very good for having a reunion of all the best moments for it. Well, even so, two courses from Gran Turismo 6 can also always do our best to take our greatest pride ever of all time for it. This will be good for the Italian sport compact car to go and make a little fast for it. But even so, a small compact car with two-seater is definitely quite giving a good choice for it. Okay, almost there. Take a little bit of more extreme braking points to be cautious. Taking one last turn, and looks like this race is going to be over any second now, and this is going to get much better to be improvable, to be giving a little practicing for the one-make race. And it looks like the Fiat RCC is definitely right behind me. So even so, this is going to be giving a little bit chance to do it, and first place times the dirt for the charm. So once more onto the good standard amount of earnings, because this is going to be good. So even so, this might be giving a little bit more efficient performance to be able to be a prop to to take much practice. So, looks like on to Red Bull Ring for the next and final round for this race. So probably that I might be able to choose the perfect afternoon condition will be able to be recognized to have a racing reunion board, since we also played it on the PS3 era, because this will be much better to do it, to take much better of a chance of a performance. So, looks like here we are racing at the Red Bull Ring, because this is definitely quite very good to be racing up since the August update, and this is going to be quite very much chance to do it by today. So, looks like race number 4 is going to be the final round for this moment, folks. So, even so, I might be able to do the TCS1 before the start of the race. That might be giving a little bit chance to do so. Well, good thing, a little minor detail check before the start of the race to have a TCS1 before you'll be able to take the throttle much in. Okay, all cars are in, just taking the right turn by the start. Okay, so Suzuki Split Sport is definitely taking a little sweetheart turn, so let's just try to keep it careful. But even so, that might be giving a little easier to step on in and take a little hard turn whenever you're gonna take the chance. Well, that might be giving a little time to be more specific, careful if you really want to take the chance for. I'll make sure that this will be able to do much better overtake if this is gonna be a half a chance to do so. Pass on the Fiat S206. Now Citroen DS3 compact car. Bear the steering carefully, and then, well, definitely giving a little speed bump. Will be giving much mouth force. Now, only got 6 to go, and this will be much very closer in. The GRMN Toyota 86 is definitely going to be overtaken in, so this might be quite a better chance to speed it up for more. And here comes the dive in part for it, because this might be very chance to be very hard and very easier to do much better so for these races these days for it. Very good. 2 minutes is definitely giving much time for. Then we'll be on its way over to the final lap, and this will get everything done before we take a break for it. Now, looks like the Fiat RCC is the only Group N vehicle left, so let's go and overtake. Make sure that this will be an upper hill turn to be very correctly right at the moment. Come on, almost there. Better to make one quick grab step to overtake the French strong vehicle. That's very good. Now, only takes one step closer and try to take the inside turn before you reach the apex point. Okay, so try to maintain the handling when you're on the outside. Then stay at first place whenever you're gonna need it for it, because the S marking turns is going to be quite very specificated and very challenging for every movement whenever you see the apex on it. Now it's just gonna have to pull one last brake, then almost be reaching at the final turn. Excellent. Now just sit back and wait until you see the check flag to be approaching in for it, because that might be the right time to be reaching up on the finish line behind the starting grid. Wow, looks like that's very good for today, but the Abarth is definitely quite very improvement for having a little good today race event for it. But that might be very good for having a little standard amount of race boards. So, looks like standard earnings is definitely coming in for it. That might be a lot of good of total distance to be increased with. Well, I guess this is gonna be getting much closer in to see a little one last check to see how the progress is going. So, looks like the distance driven is definitely giving one step closer. Well, it only got 700 miles to go. Looks like this might be giving a little bit better chance to do it, so, but I might be able to go and spend some paint on the mileage exchange, so I might be able to go and buy the Purple 3 Dark Flake S and the P5 Mint Fluorescent. So I might be able to be save one more color for tomorrow, so this might be very good for now. Well, I kind of think I'm just gonna have to be finishing up the total check of the paints on the mileage exchange earlier, so this might be able to be decided to take some time off for it. So definitely the Abarth 500 is definitely comes back from Gran Turismo 6 and now arriving to Gran Turismo Sport. Well, looks like this Fiat 500 alike is definitely quite very good for it, but this style is much very cool, just like the standard one for it, but it is a modern vehicle for it, because this is going to be quite very good for it, because this might be quite customizable to be used as a variant design for, but it also drives fast, but it also to be suitable for the FF challenge, because this car might be good, stronger to be improved, to be race to go, for the new players will be able to be arrived any moment for this one. So probably, well, I kind of think I also to give a little bit one check about the 1500 by Posto Bertone. Well, it is definitely part of the Abarth brand, but it is very designed in 1952. Well, maybe I'll be able to try it out for the next race. But I kind of think classic cars are also to be important to be able to race with. But this might be quite very much to be able to use the Abarth 500. This one is very cool since Gran Turismo 6 to be able to use for. Alright folks, glad that you really enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to click like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. And also the links on the description down below if you're interested to see more for it. So, looks like it's time to get ready to try out for some classic vehicles for the next custom race on Gran Turismo Sport. Have a good day you guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Keep racing and stay cool.